As you can see from these comments right here, Lincoln Riley has somehow found another way to piss off people yet again. It seems like right when everybody's starting to get over how he left Oklahoma, he does something else to make people, let's just say, not so happy. And the most controversial part about all of this, as you can see right here, everybody's saying he's lying, he's capping, and this isn't going to be a popular take, but I don't think he's lying, and I think he's telling the truth. I already know a bunch of you guys aren't going to like that. Now, we don't have a lot to go over and talk about in this video, just going to try to keep it short and sweet. So without further ado, let's get into it. I'm not going over the stuff that happened. I'm not even going to give you a run through. If you keep up with college football, you should know what happened with Lincoln Riley in Oklahoma and USC. Long story short, he left Oklahoma in a bad way, and now he's at USC. That's all you need to know. Pretty much, if you're an Oklahoma fan, you can't stand this guy, and a lot of people in the rest of the college football world can't stand him either. And I guess I'm one of those sore thumbs that stick out, because I like Lincoln Riley. That's one thing about me, and I hope some of you're the same way. You're not a follower. You make your own opinions. You're a leader. Just because everybody's hopping on the hate Lincoln Riley bandwagon, it doesn't mean you have to as well. Form your own opinion about people. If that opinion is still you hate Lincoln Riley, then that's okay. Anyways, moving on and fast forwarding to only a couple of days ago, Mr. Riley did an interview and it got some people talking. Here's what a reporter asked him, quote unquote. "There were a lot of hard feelings among Oklahoma fans when you left, especially so abruptly. Do you understand their anger?" Here's what he responded to that. "There's no easy way to leave jobs like that, unless you retire in them. They're either going to force you out because you're not winning, or you do something wrong, or you're going to take another job and they're not going to be happy about it. I mean, I've been coaching for a little bit now, but I've never obviously been in a transition like this." Going off that quote, okay, nothing crazy. I mean, it's nothing for people to get stirred up and worked up about. This interview was very long and kind of boring, and the next quote and the final quote I'm going to read you is the main one. And when I say the main one, I mean the main one that's got everybody talking. The reporter asked him, "I'm sure you've heard critics claiming that part of your rationale for leaving was that you were running from the grind of the SEC with Oklahoma's impending move to the SEC. Lincoln Riley replied to that and said, "Oh yeah, I knew that was out there. Football is football. I wasn't running from the SEC, I was running to USC. That's probably the best way I could answer that." Once again, I'm going to say it again. He stated, "Football is football. I wasn't running from the SEC. I was running to USC." I got to be honest, when I first heard that, I believe it was a day or two ago, I didn't think it was a big deal at all. I've said this since day one, and I'm going to stand firm on it. I've never understood the fact where people saying he's scared of the SEC. It doesn't make sense. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on. The reason I don't think it makes sense is different from what all of you are thinking about. I'm going to offer you a different perspective so normal people like me, you, and everybody watching this, we can relate to it and try to understand. You know what? As a matter of fact, I'm going to give you two perspectives so I can drill this in your head. Perspective number one. Let's say you're a mountain climber and I look at you and say, "Hey, if you go climb that 15-foot mountain, which is nothing at all, I'll give you $1 million. Or you can also climb Mount Everest, and I'll still just give you $1 million. Which one are you going to choose?" I hope all of your answers to that question is you're going to climb the 15-foot mountain, and it's not even a mountain, that's just a small hill. There's no difference in the reward. You can either climb a 15-foot hill, or you can climb Mount Everest. You're only getting $1 million. I think we can all come to the terms with you'd be delusional to take the harder route and the harder path, right? Perspective number two. Let's say you're a high school football coach, or you're a high school football team, and I tell you, if you win your next game, I'll give you $10 million. And I also tell you, you can either schedule the hardest team in the country or the easiest team in the country. You get to pick. Once again, rather simple decision. I'm going to schedule the easier opponent. It's not necessarily I'm scared of Mount Everest or I'm scared of playing the best high school football team in the country, but it's more so of why not take the easier option? Ever since day one, that's how I felt about Lincoln Riley going to USC. It's common sense. Why in the world would I go to the SEC where every single week's going to be a brutal grind and a brutal battle? I'm seriously asking you guys that. Why would anybody do that when I can go to the Pac-12 and have an easy life and not have to stress about every single team I play? Come on, guys. This is common sense. I don't understand how people are saying he's lying about he wasn't running from the SEC. I generally don't think he was. Just like he said, it was more so he's running to USC. Look, I'm sure a bunch of you guys, you're just like me. You're a prideful person. You take pride in yourself, and you should. A lot of us dudes watching this, and I know we got some girls, and even girls I know like this. If you can fix something around the house, you would love to do it yourself, but there is sometimes you need some help. And it may hurt your pride to ask for help and take the easier route, but it works out better, right? That's Lincoln Riley. He put his pride aside and said, "Hey, People are gonna criticize me for this, but I gotta do what's best. It's the same thing with climbing the hill on Mount Everest. If I'm gonna get $1 million for climbing the hill and $1 million for Everest, why would I take the harder route? I strongly believe the point of all this is going way over everybody's head. Let me make this clear, I didn't even speak on this. I'm not saying Lincoln Riley isn't scared of the SEC. He may be. Here's what I'm saying. I don't even think he got to the point of even thinking joining the SEC when USC was an option. And oh yeah, I can't forget to mention this, he's making way more money at USC and he's living in the best place in the entire world. Have you seen his house? He's got one of the best houses out there. His kids, his wife, they're loving it. He's just got one of the best jobs ever. I'm not even bringing that up in this argument. Everybody rather live in California than Oklahoma if you can afford it. Oklahoma fans and people that live there, there's nothing wrong with your state, but California, if you can afford it, it's much better. Last thing before we end up this video, I didn't want to bring it up, but I got to. I also don't understand how people are saying he's scared, like he's finna go out there and put on a pads and a helmet himself. He's just the coach. Just like he said in his quote, football is football. Do you really think it's the end of the world for Lincoln Riley if he loses a game? No, because I can guarantee you, yeah, he wants to be a great coach and he cares about his legacy, but more importantly, he wants to get paid. These coaches ain't too different from all these 5-star recruits. They don't care about the program or none of that. They want to get paid. You think Jordan Addison went to USC because they have a great beach? No, he went there because they gave him $3 million. Ever since we started talking about the name, image, and likeness, I've said it, I'm going to say it again till the day I die, money runs the world. Once you learn that, it'll make everything make more sense. And college football, it's a business. At the very end of the day, this decision to go to USC was strictly about money for Lincoln Riley and his family. It was about money and a better opportunity, and you can't fault a man for that because any person in their right mind would have done the exact same thing. I'm not saying money is the biggest influence for a lot of these coaches, especially the older ones, but the younger ones, yeah, it's a huge impact. I don't know what his contract is. I have no idea, but if USC is going to pay him $10, $15 million and Oklahoma is going to pay him $8 to $10 million, which one would you go to? My point exactly. But anyways, before we end off this video, I happened to stumble across this on Instagram, and I want to see what you guys think. Well, actually, I got to give credit where it's due. I didn't see it. One of you guys sent it to me. If there's anything you want me to talk about in a video, please send it to me on Instagram. Tag me in it, because it definitely helps out the channel. But anyways, it says start one, bench one, and cut one. We got Hendon Hooker for Tennessee, AR-15, Anthony Richardson for Florida, and Caleb Williams. I don't know who made this list or if it's like the Instagram page that made it, but this is so unfair. Anthony Richardson from Florida, I believe, has only started one game. I don't even know why he's on there. I think a better one would have been Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, and Caleb. But I'll give you my opinion real quick. Let me know in the comments section. I would start Caleb Williams, bench Hendon Hooker, and obviously cut AR-15. That's going to wrap up this video. I know it was a short one, but not too much going on in the college football world. Let me know your thoughts down below. But